Away they go over 2.5 miles in the opening Grade 2 chase. The Coolmore National Hussars Mogul Irish EBF mares Novice. And striding on in front, Allegorie De Vassy, being followed by Melina Girl. Then her stable companion Bride's Hill in third, 6 feet apart, followed by Carrageen Canini with the back marker Granny Lowry. Continuing their progress to fence 1. The field already well spaced out as Allegorie De Vassy shows a good 4 lengths in front of Melina Girl. In third place is Bride's Hill, and then 6 feet apart. Carrageen Canini last but 1, and the back marker is Granny Lowry as they face up to their first fence. Allegorie De Vassy is almost gone. What a recovery by Paul Townend to stay on board the long odds-on favourite Allegorie De Vassy, who was skew with at that first fence, and again off to a right at number 2. An early scare for the favourite Allegorie De Vassy, going uphill to number 3. Much better that one. Melina Girl over in second, then Bride's Hill, 6 feet apart, followed by Carrageen Canini and Granny Lowry. They're further strung out, heading across the top of the track to fences 4 and 5. Allegorie De Vassy back on an even keel, well cleared of Melina Girl, Bride's Hill, 6 feet apart, Carrageen Canini, and at the rear of the field, Granny Lowry. Onto the fence before the straight. Allegorie De Vassy up and over. Looks to be warming to the jumping task with 5 fences negotiated. Turns back in for number 6 in front of the stands and at the end of a circuit, breaking further and further clear from Melina Girl, who's just hitting the straight. Then Bride's Hill, 6 feet apart, Carrageen Canini and Granny Lowry. Racing to fence number 6, and it will be the final fence next time. Allegorie De Vassy and Paul Townend with the reduced advantage over Melina Girl and Kieran Buckley. In third is Bride's Hill, Luke Dempsey, 6 feet apart, and JJ Slevin well clear of the final couple. Carrageen Canini, Keen Quirk, and Granny Lowry, Jack Doyle. Finishing on the upcoming circuit, another 6 fences left to jump as they pass the halfway stage in the Coolmore National Hussars Mogul Irish EBF Mares Novice Chase, Grade 2, over 2.5 miles. Allegorie De Vassy dotted up in similar graded company on chase debut at Limerick over Christmas, upholds a cleared advantage, heading towards the last mile, with continuing to give chase Melina Girl out in front of her stable companion Bride's Hill. This fence coming up is where Allegorie De Vassy almost made her departure. A gasp came from the crowd, much better that time from Melina Girl. Bride's Hill, 6 feet apart. Granny Lowry blundered on the inside of Carrageen Canini. Last hitch, Allegorie De Vassy into the corner. Melina Girl, 6-7 lengths back second, and Bride's Hill, 6 feet apart. Granny Lowry relegates Carrageen Canini to the final position as Allegorie De Vassy stretched for the last up the bag. Melina Girl second, and Bride's Hill, 6 feet apart. Granny Lowry and Carrageen Canini, the only change in the race, taking up the last spot. 3 fences left to jump. Allegorie De Vassy and Paul Townend out in front of Melina Girl. Kieran Buckley, who's closed upon by stable companion Bride's Hill and Luke Dempsey. 3 fences from the finish. And good there she was, that mare and favourite Allegorie De Vassy. On to the second last. Left her hind ones in that. Melina Girl second. In third place is Bride's Hill as they run the home turn. 1 fence left to jump in the opening Grade 2 chase, the Coolmore National Hussars Mogul Irish EBF Mares Novice. And it's been all Allegorie De Vassy since the start, as Bride's Hill is winning the war for the second with Melina Girl, making the descent to the final fence, the 12th and final fence. It's Allegorie De Vassy with Bride's Hill leading a futile chase in second, and then Melina Girl. Coming to the last, Allegorie De Vassy, the long odds on favourite. Safely over from in second place, Bride's Hill. Melina Girl is in third, and up towards the finish, it's Allegorie De Vassy. Hacking round, is quick to initiate a grade 2 double over fences. Maintaining her unbeaten record for the Willie Mullins yard, written by Paul Townend. Wins in a common canter from Bride's Hill and Melina Girl next.
Let's take a closer look at it now. Ruby, talk us through it.
Yeah, she just has a look. He doesn't have much hold of her head. She has a look, and when she jinks right, his body weight is all gone off on his left. Now he goes to correct, and then when you go to correct, you nearly throw yourself off the far side always, but he's lucky he gets his left arm down over her neck, and that's what keeps him on. Now, she didn't do much to get it wrong. You see the goggles are gone skew-ways on Paul's face. His colours are wide open. He's struggling to get his iron back. There's the couple of slaps on the shoulder to make her concentrate going to the second. She jumps again out to her right, but now she's lit up as well. Now, it's to the first. She doesn't move very much, but when your body weight, your hip gets outside your knee, with your shoulders, you're in no man's land. She didn't do much, but all his body weight's gone outside. He's onto his left leg, and when he comes down, it's his left arm that keeps him on. His left arm's around her neck. That's what keeps him on. And that's great strength down through his core and the ability to stay there. But I think if she came off, he would have been pretty annoyed if he'd come off. But it's an amazing recovery to get back on.
Well, Allegorie De Vassy has won at 8-1 on in our opener here. The Grade 2 Mares Novice Chase, sponsored by Coolmore. Willie Mullins is with us now. Willie, start of a potentially big day, but it could have all gone so wrong at that very first fence. What were your thoughts watching it?
Well, I just cleaned my binoculars. The guy beside me on the stand said, I bet you're sorry you did that. But I just chatting to Paul after the race, and we hadn't given her a pop this week, and I said we'll do that in the future, but he said, you know, the jumping strip was frozen with all the weather, so we hadn't time to do it, and I didn't think there was any need. And also I had said to Paul, you know, before the race, just let her at it and let her jump. You know, she's well able to do it, and probably mightn't have been the right thing to say to him. Maybe you know, in future he'll probably keep a good hold of her head going to the first anyhow. But I mean, she likes to get on with it, as you could see throughout the race, and we saw in Limerick she likes to get on jumping, and she likes to be let jump, and she was just too exuberant, I think, going to the first.
Was he taken by surprise?
He was. I mean, and also which I didn't see from the stand, but he said she went over to the right. You probably saw it on the head on.
Yes,
yeah.
Did it at quite a few fences actually.
Yeah, right. I didn't see that from where I was, but I don't think I'm worried about it. But you know, she did that well badly at the first, but he said he just pulled her together later on.
I was just asking Ruby, I mean, how would you combat something like that? He said maybe have something on your outside when you're on a left-handed track might be the best thing to do.
Well, I imagine as she goes up in class, there's going to be horses around her. You know, we felt today the best thing to do was just to go ahead and go from the start, and we didn't think we didn't see anything that in the race tactically that was going to come with us, but I imagine in the future that'll happen, and that she'll be easier riding, easier to keep straight then.
And that mare's chase at Cheltenham, Willie, you won it with a novice previously, Colreevy. Yeah. Do you feel she's got plenty enough experience there to take on more seasoned mares this time?
I don't know. You know, Colreevy came from a sort of a point-to-pointing background. I think she was with Pat Doyle here, did a lot of jumping. This mare did a lot of jumping in France as well, but she has the ability anyhow. You know, if she can manage to jump, she has the ability. But I was never worried about her jumping. I mean, after Limerick, I thought she put in an excellent exhibition of jumping.
I presume at this stage no temptation to run her between now and then, is there?
No, it's not. You know, I'll go home and see what's in the calendar. DRF is too soon. If there was something nice about 2.5 miles, or even a 2-mile chase, it wouldn't bother me. Maybe after that we might look at that, but it's not the first thing on my mind, no.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.